Joe Scrofano joining us tonight in Washington, D.C. Okay, I mean, am I crazy, or is that the one question that the jury wanted asked today?
Yeah, I mean, Vinny, I agree with you. I think that the jury certainly wants to know the answer to that question, but I'm sure the prosecution argued to the judge about what relevance does it have to the case. Certainly it's a fact the jury wants to know, but what legal relevance does it have on whether the ice cream man committed this murder or not, whether or not...
It's the motive. It's the motive. Isn't the entire prosecution case based upon the fact that this guy is looking for revenge? He did his own investigation. His investigation reveals that Kreep is the one responsible, and he's looking for Kreep, so he's going to the neighborhood, and he's trying to track him down.
Yeah, but they don't need to prove that Kreep that Kreep was the guy that robbed him to get that theory. All they need to show is that the defendant thought Kreep was the individual, and why? I mean, you know, they get there without that fact, and I don't think the prosecution wants the jury confusing the issue or feeling in some way that he was justified in this kind of vigilante justice or something like that. So yeah, I agree the jury wants to know that. I just don't see how it's relevant. I would not be surprised if the prosecution argued to keep that out of the case. It doesn't make a difference to the elements of the offense.
Are you shocked that the defense didn't ask about it either?
Well, they might have been prohibited from, but I think it actually could, that could hurt the defense because it, like you just said, it goes to the defendant's motive. So by bolstering that fact or getting that information in front of the jury, even if it's something they may be dying to hear, it fits into the prosecution's theory of the case. And the whole defense case here seems to be just quibbling or contradicting a few facts here and there, and there's been no real coherent alternative explanation that's been put forward against the prosecution's circumstantial evidence. In a circumstantial case, you've got all these coincidences, and it's great to say, oh, well, he couldn't have shot the gun because his hand was injured, or there's some discrepancy between the witnesses and how they're, and what they say the murder weapon was. But there's been no compelling narrative or counter narrative that's been put forward by the defense at this point. And, bringing up, trying to prove that Kreep was in fact the person who robbed him would just be, furthering the prosecution's case at that point.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, though, and I'm a former prosecutor, right? And I'm just wondering, why even call him? Why are they calling him just to demonstrate to the jury that there's an actual person named Kreep who does exist?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering kind of the same thing. If I had to speculate, I guess I would say it corroborates what the prosecution's theory of the case is, and it goes to the defendant's mindset. It's not about what happened, it's about what the defendant believed. And if he believed that Kreep was the person who robbed him, and he's got written in his notebooks, some stuff about Kreep, there are witnesses who are friends with him, who are testifying that he was obsessed with finding this person, Kreep. The surviving witnesses testify that the murderer was shooting at them, talking about, are you Kreep? Do you know Kreep? Is Kreep here? I mean, showing that he is an actual person, I think, just further corroborates, the prosecution's circumstantial evidence in the case.
I will say this, though, and I know lawyers who are still practicing like you hate this idea, but we've seen more and more judges who are permitting jurors to ask questions. And I guarantee you, if that was the case in this trial, the first question from that jury would have been, did you rob the ice cream man? I always want to give the jury the information that they obviously want to hear about, but I guess it didn't happen today. But Joe Scrofano, always great to see you joining us down in D.C. tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vinny.